The bell rang softly, not like a command, but like a reminder, and the classroom settled into silence as if silence itself had been taught from birth. Shoes were aligned neatly outside the door, bags placed carefully under desks, and 30 students stood up together, bowing not out of fear, not out of habit alone, but out of something deeper that felt almost invisible. To an outsider, it might look like discipline. To someone who watches closely, it feels like respect woven into daily life. This is where the story of Japanese students truly begins, not in books or exams, but in the quiet moments that shape character long before intelligence is tested. A child in Japan does not wake up being told to chase success. Instead, they wake up being taught how to live with others. From an early age, students learn that they are part of a group, and the group's harmony matters as much as individual dreams. When a child cleans their classroom, they are not being punished. They are being trusted. The mop in their hands is not a tool of labor, but a lesson in responsibility. They learn that no work is beneath them, that dignity comes from effort, and that a clean space reflects a clean mind. This simple daily act silently builds humility, discipline, and pride all at once. Politeness in Japan is not memorized like a rule. 'Tis absorbed like language. Children hear respectful words spoken at home, on the streets, in shops, and on television. They watch adults bow to apologize even when they are not wrong, simply to protect harmony. So when a student bows to a teacher or an elder, it does not feel forced. It feels natural, like breathing. Respect is not something demanded. It is something modeled. Parents rarely shout lessons. They live them. Teachers rarely threaten punishment. They earn authority through care, consistency, and moral strength. Smartness in Japanese students is often misunderstood as just academic excellence, but their intelligence runs deeper than grades. They are trained to think practically, to solve problems with patience, and to value process over shortcuts. When a student struggles, they are not labeled weak. They are encouraged to persevere. Failure is not a shameful ending. It is a temporary step. The culture teaches that effort matters more than talent, and this belief changes everything. A child who believes effort can change destiny will never give up easily. Hard work in Japan is not dramatic. There are no loud speeches about success. There is quiet consistency. Students walk long distances to school, often carrying their own bags without complaint. They attend classes, clubs, and responsibilities with the same seriousness. When they join sports or arts clubs, they stay late, practicing until exhaustion, not because someone is watching, but because commitment itself has value. They learn that mastery is born from repetition, patience, and respect for time. Bravery in Japanese students is subtle but powerful. It is not always loud courage. It is the courage to endure, the courage to remain calm during disasters, the courage to stand in line even when afraid, the courage to follow rules even when no one is supervising. During earthquakes or emergencies, children move quietly, helping one another, trusting the system they have been taught. This bravery is born from preparation and discipline, not from chaos or impulse. Obedience to teachers and parents in Japan is often misunderstood as blind submission, but it is closer to trust than fear. Teachers are seen not merely as instructors, but as moral guides. Parents are not just providers, but role models. When a teacher speaks, students listen not because they are scared of punishment, but because they believe the teacher wants the best for them. This trust is earned through fairness and consistency. A teacher who arrives early, works hard, and treats every student equally naturally commands respect without raising their voice. At home, parents involve children in daily life instead of isolating them. A child helps set the table, clean the house, and care for siblings. These tasks are not gendered or optional. They are part of growing up. Through this, children learn empathy. They understand that effort keeps families and societies running. They learn to think beyond themselves, to notice when others are tired, and to act without being told. Japanese students are also taught to observe before they speak. Silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. In classrooms, students listen carefully, reflect, and then respond thoughtfully. This habit sharpens their minds. They learn to value accuracy over speed, understanding over noise. In a world that rewards loud opinions, they learn the rare skill of listening deeply, which later becomes intelligence in leadership, teamwork, and innovation. Discipline in Japan does not come from constant punishment, comes from shame, not the cruel kind, but the gentle awareness of how one's actions affect others. When a student misbehaves, the question is not what rule did you break, but how did this affect the group? This shifts the focus from fear to responsibility. Students learn to correct themselves because they do not want to disappoint those who trust them. Even competition is handled differently. Students compete with themselves more than with others. Exams are important, but so is character. A student who excels academically but lacks cooperation is not praised blindly. Balance is valued. Intelligence without humility is considered incomplete. Success without manners is seen as hollow. This balance produces individuals who are not only smart, but wise. What truly sets Japanese students apart is consistency. The values taught in childhood are reinforced everywhere. Schools, families, media, and society speak the same moral language. There is no confusion about what is right or wrong. Rules exist not to control, but to protect harmony. When a child grows up in such an environment, good behavior becomes instinctive. There is also a deep sense of gratitude woven into daily life. Students thank teachers at the end of lessons. They thank the cook for meals. They thank the bus driver. Gratitude shapes attitude. A grateful student studies harder, behaves better, and complains less. They understand that nothing comes without effort from others or themselves. Behind the politeness and obedience lies a strong sense of self-control. Japanese students are trained to manage emotions. Anger is not celebrated. Impulse is not praised. They learn to pause, reflect, and respond. This emotional intelligence gives them an advantage not only in studies, but in life. They grow into adults who can handle pressure, criticism, and responsibility with calm dignity. The story of Japanese students is not a story of perfection. They struggle, fail, and feel pressure like any other students in the world. But what makes them stand out is the system of values that supports them. A system that prioritizes character before comfort, responsibility before freedom, and respect before rights. When you watch a Japanese student bow, clean, listen, and work quietly, you are not just seeing good manners. You are seeing generations of values passed down with care. You are seeing a society that believes education is not only about filling minds, but shaping souls. In that belief lies the secret of why these students appear more civilized, polite, intelligent, hardworking, brave, practical, and obedient, not because they are forced to be, but because they are taught, patiently and consistently, how to be human together. And perhaps that is the most powerful lesson of all, that true intelligence is not just knowing more, but behaving better. That real strength is not loud rebellion, but quiet responsibility. And that the future belongs not to the noisiest voices, but to those who have learned from childhood how to respect others, respect effort, and respect life itself.